My people, justice for Imole, justice for Mohbad. No justice, no peace. No DNA, no peace. No toxicology, no peace. Another shocking update. Hey, hey. Wonders they say it shall never end. For inside this very update, we now want hear so. This is so deep. Make we gather, guys, make we hear this one live and direct as it dey hot. But before then, I still remember una humble get rekiss. Let me dey bring una latest ogbonge tori. If you never subscribe to this channel, wetin you gain? Abeg subscribe, click on the notification bell so that they go notify you galang anytime we drop tori like this. And to our returning subscribers, una own no go ever spoil o.
Sundays, waiting be this one like this. For example, please, the wife Wumi left him because she feels maybe this guy is just like struggling and there's not released any music for a long time, so he was struggling. So Wumi left Mohbad. So that was around the time she got pregnant with she brought that pregnancy from God knows where. And Mohbad released Peace and then trended again, and then she came back into Mohbad's life. So his art is not working. His art is not working. Probably is not beating for her again. So like to be pied because this talent is too much. I don't know. Sometimes I was thinking maybe there should be like an organization dedicated to protection of talent like this, because Mohbad was not only a singer, he was also a writer. You don't get to see much people that sing and write songs like this. I think the last person we had, the last real songwriter that we had that was a singer was Da Green also. So you don't get to see these guys like easily because some people are songwriters, some are singers. So it's hard for you to see a songwriter, a singer, and also a rapper like Mohbad, because that is like a full package. Like it's hard to see. Most of them are in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know why Nigerians treated genius like this. They just wasted this guy for absolutely nothing.
Crocodile. A couple of weeks ago, I said the same thing on this platform. He was a genius. He was gifted. He was gifted. He can do anything with song. Write, sing, Fuji, juju, rap, anything he can do with ease. If you can tell your own story through music every time, it shows you can sing with ease.
Yes.
Don't forget.
That's true.
He didn't really go to school. He went to Polytechnic. He didn't attend class. So that education was lacking. Yet he was getting there. Honestly, I can bet my life on it. If that guy were to be alive, he was going to win Grammy. Forget it.
Mohbad is so good.
Don't argue. Forget it.
Mohbad is good. He came in prepared. It was a full package, because you don't get to see songwriters, singers, and rappers at the same time. 3 in 1. Even Drake is not a full package, and has been singing for a very long time. And the songs just keep coming. The song didn't finish.
And even to corroborate, okay, tell me how many artists in Nigeria that had a disagreement with their record label and still made it.
Yes.
That guy, that pains me more. That guy.
It's painful. It's painful. No.
That guy.
He died like a. It's so easy. He should be protected. He should be given all of fame. He should be given titles, because it's hard to see raw talent.
See what like Burna Boy is doing now. Mohbad was surpassed it. What Burna Boy is doing now.
But wait. Chessman, make una wait. You see, there is this saying that says a prophet is never recognized in their own land. And what just came to my mind is simply this. Many of the great prophets, they don't spend much time on earth, but they are more impactful when they have good progenitors or some people that can guide them. When Jesus Christ was coming, John the Baptist came before him to be a forerunner. And John the Baptist started the preaching of the man that is coming to save Israel. And when he came, Jesus Christ has a different style. People around him, suppress him. His own people pied him. But Something that worked for Jesus was this. His family were with him. His mother and the mother of John and Martha and all of those, they are all with him. They are always following him. They go wherever he is because they believe in him. Now, how is Mohbad's own different? His own family do not believe in him. As far as I'm concerned, it's his family that made his light to dim when it's supposed to be shining. This is when he's supposed to be fulfilling his purpose. But what did they do to him? The people he worked for, slaved for, the people he fed, housed, clothed, these are the people that left him in the cold. They stripped him naked, pushed him into the winter to freeze to death. He freeze to death. And that is simply how I will explain it. And even after he died, what happened? Chaos among them, fighting over nothing. And this is the guy that fed all of them. Even if he did not feed them throughout their lifetime, but he at least fed them for more than 1 year. And this is what you find. Yorùbá ní tògìrì ò bá lanu aláǹgbá ò lè wọ̀. If his own team had protected him, if there were no frenemies in his camp, maybe he would have lived longer. Maybe he would have died at 40, but he would have done more things. Of course, he's going to have enemy within the industry, but his team will be tight. And that is why you have team all around him. But what did they do to him? They eat his food, yet they poisoned him. They eat his money, yet they destroyed his treasure. They tell him, we love you, yet they were stabbing him behind. These are the people he was surrounded with. The song you just played, he's professing his love. He felt lonely, yes? But hey, who is he really lonely for? We all can see the result of that loneliness. He fell helplessly in love. Helplessly. Even when he knew that she wasn't good for him, he stayed. He believed love conquered all. But he was mistaken that in life is more than love. Open your eyes, even when you love. Because those who you love are the first to stone you when the chips are down.
Aristocrat.
It's a lesson for all of us.
Aristocrat is a lesson. And I will say it Yoruba for some certain reasons. Sheng Bomi.
Bribe àwọn tó kù
We can
now.
hear
Now
you.
not kọ́ lọ́gbọ́n now. Kọ́ àwọn tó kù lọ́gbọ́n now.
Okay. The reason is, but Coco, it's not easy for me to say in English. I tell you what. So I've got this friend. I've known him for 30 years. He came to my home and started flirting with my wife. And he went to my wife and whispered into her ears, "Mark Pemiloruko." Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
He told me fún ẹ.
Okay. And what did I do? Mo le lọ. Yeah, my wife reported to me the lelo. So when you talk about frenemies, you have to take action. In fact, tó bá ní that power to take action over your wife or your girlfriend Wummi, or you can action to take over their yachts, the Daroshas, the whatever. You knew that they were frenemies. You could have taken action. Say, fuck off.
But towards the twilight of his life, he was making new friends. He was making new friends. Sure, you know.
Okay, Titus.
Chessman,
Yes.
do you remember
New friends.
that he was making new friends towards the twilight of his life? He was making new friends. But he was too late, but he was making new friends.
Yeah. Chessman, you want to also try to understand, the whole story, and the little that we have is, okay, he joined the Malians and we understand how it runs in there. It's a competition. They are not friends. They are competitors, So you could easily call all those people around him in the Malian house frenemies as well, and he just, I don't know.
Even after he left, even after the people he was living with, the people he
Yes,
actually
correct.
housed.
Correct. But then there's a common factor with the Malians and in the house, which is CY. Because whatever was going on in the Malian house was being learnt by CY as well. I believe that was a school.
I mean, what I want to ask aristocrats one question, and the question is this: it's a little bit. I would like to get like some kind of philosophy. You can philosophize if you want to. Now, we have a situation in the world that has been happening before we existed, in which people who bring new things, new ideas, new concepts, new methods, new style, or those guys, or anyone who expand the frontiers of any new thing, they bring in a new school. They are usually first of all persecuted, then nailed to the cross. Most of them do not live long to reap the fruits of the new things that they bring to the world, the new system that they bring that is larger than the current system that they met. Why is it that anybody who dares to start something new, why is it others, those kind of genius, why do they, even if it's a different thing for them not to be accepted or for their ideas not to be accepted, but most of them, they die young. They die so young. Some of them are in the club 27. Why do we have a system in the world like that? What do you think could be the reasons for it?
You see, truth be told, the world is controlled by some other things. Now, the world where we live, we don't really want change. The world don't want change. People like to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But if you tell them a new way to do it, they will not accept it. Because one, they see you as coming to tell them that they are fools for what they used to do. Two, so some are benefiting from the old order. And if you change it, instead of them to see the positive side of it, it is the negativity that will affect them that they will be seeing. And they will kick against it. Three, there are some people that have turned themselves to chairmen and Lord of the Rings. So when someone comes with a new thing, they will say, you cannot take our shine. It will not happen. That is human nature for us. Now, because that is human nature, it will continue to be. But at certain time of life, there will be disruptors. People that will come and disrupt the order. They might not spend longer time. Now, God also gives human beings certain ability. If you are someone that wants to be a changer, you don't walk alone. Because if you try to walk alone, your change will not have effect. What do? We learn from Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ knew that his time is determined by an higher body. What did he do? When he stepped out to start the gospel, he went to get disciples whom he will teach what he knows so that they can continue. Now, if you know you are a changer, you should have at the back of your mind there will be people that will fight against it. What do? Gather people that will continue, that even when you are not there, they will continue with the principle that you set. That is when you benefit. But be mindful that among those people you gather, there will always be a Judas. It is still human nature. That is how the world is ordered. So when we understand how the world is ordered, and you find yourself a peculiar person that ought to make change, put at the back of your mind, I must have friends and enemies, and I must use them rightly to achieve what I want to achieve, because my time is limited. Once you do that, when you go, you yourself, you are satisfied. When Jesus was living, he was satisfied because he had disciples. Why did the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Romans needed someone to point him out? Because the history told us that they dress alike, they look alike. You cannot say who Jesus is except when he's preaching. That is when he will sit on the top. But when they are walking together, you don't know Jesus from Peter. They have the same beards, they wear the same kind of outfit, they wear the same kind of, their hair are grown. So you need someone in the inner circle to point him out. So they needed a Judas, who by divine way is also the treasurer, who now went for little money. He had so much, but they offered him little to betray the boss. So he understood those principles. And I think when we look into history, what is happening now has happened before. There is nothing new. We just have to hold ourselves and do the right thing. But just like I said, the unfortunate thing for Mohbad's way is the people that he should trust, because everyone must trust someone he should trust, did not provide that trust he needed. They did not support him enough for him to be very strong. Just like a soldier, when a soldier goes to war, his family is praying for him back home, and he has them in their mind. So when he's at war, because of that prayer, they are constantly calling him. In the spirit realm, himself will be reminding, they will be in his heart. So he will fight so hard. I must go back home to see my children. I must go back home to see my loved one. Those things keep them fighting. But if you see someone that has nothing to go back home for, he's praying to die himself. Because when he gets back home, who is he going to associate with? Nobody. I better make a coup, make them turn me to an hero. But someone that has people back home do not want to be an hero. He wants to be an example for others to emulate, so that they can pass the knowledge. But if you don't have anybody to look for, oh, let me be an hero, kill me, atukusogun. And I think it's a whole lot of it's a whole lot of things. Life teaches us a whole lot of things. But we just have to sit down and look at this thing and think and guide ourselves. Whatever happens, we all must learn from it. It is not to, chastise those who have done things. Not that we are better than them. Not that we are better than them. If we were in their position, we might have done worse. If someone is helplessly in love with a wrong person, there is nothing they will tell you that you will change. You will tell them to shut up, none. And if it happens, I die no. But it will happen because you allow your heart to rule. But there is no creative that will not fall for love, because they preach love. They preach love. It is that ability to reach to your inner being, to your soft place. That is what makes you to write those songs. If you are a man that has a strong heart, you will not be able to write song, but you'll be able to write petition. But to write soft song, to be philosophical, to look into some things, love song, to be open, to be able to be vulnerable, you must be soft to be vulnerable. If you're not soft, you cannot be vulnerable. So it is what helps you to survive. In some cases, those are those things that also causes your downfall somehow. So it's your ability to balance it. That is what I think actually. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we can see his pain and the whole thing. So, I want to ask is this, because this is not going to be the last time something like this is going on. We're still going to have a lot of talented youths. It might be in music, it might be in science, it might be in some other field of endeavors that are like this. So the thing is this: how do we protect, or at least how do we? Because what I think is, in the Western world, they have lists of endless list of inventors in science, in music, in all fields of human endeavor. We can see that the Western world has a hall of fame for their heroes. They protect them, and where they are alive, they give them the opportunities, they fund them, and when they pass away, they venerate them, they immortalize them. And I don't think we have such setting in the African system, like in the Nigerian system. We don't have an elaborate or a well-founded or a well-organized system where our heroes are appreciated enough for them to motivate the new generation of heroes. So let's say in the next few years, we see another Mohbad, or we see someone like that exhibits such kind of talent on that level and genius, but is also vulnerable, hated, beaten, harassed, prone to all sorts of roughness of the system. What should we do,
Crocodile,
in your opinion?
Crocodile, please, wait. Listen, you're taking Nigeria too far. Honestly, Nigeria is not ready for this kind of thing. 100%. They're not ready. Ordinary crime, they can't even solve. Now they want to protect talent. Even the music industry in Nigeria, it's not even regulated. It's not regulated. Nigeria is not ready for this kind of thing. I get your point, but listen, for me, the answer is 0.
Chessman, we are just trying to prepare.
Oh yeah,
It's a
oh yeah.
preparation for the future. We don't have to.
Let's assume.
Chessman, look at the cup half full, not half empty.
Come on.
Don't be too pessimistic. And I'll give you history that
if
Nigeria
you can relate
achieved a
it
lot
to
of things.
aristocrats, if you could relate to like the music industry and especially obviously Mohbad's case, it would be nice.
Yes, this is what I'm going to do. As for me, there are some principles in life that, like I said, the world has been created in a way that you cannot fault the other. It is not by us, it is the way it's created. Just like when you plant a seed in the earth, if the seed do not go rotting, it will not recreate. And before you even see the works of the recreation, it will have grown its root, tap enough, and begin to shoot out. That is when it is ready to receive the sun. But if you go under, it has done a lot of things. Now, let's look at talents. Let's look at Moses. Let me use Moses. When Moses was battered, when his parents were in captive in Egypt, the king had saw that someone is going to be born through his diviners. And he said they should kill all firstborn, male firstborn, all across the Jew settlement. And they were killing them. But when Moses' mother gave back to him, Moses was his third child. She protected him because she saw him as a rare gem. A mother identifies that you have given birth to a king. You have given birth to someone that is different. So that is where it starts from. The family and the mother first and the father. Were they able to foresee that who this child is going to be? Did they pay the price to groom him, to protect him? Let's go abroad. Let's look at Beyonce. Before Beyonce met Jay-Z, her parents took care of her, surrounded her, protected her. Let's look at the Jackson family. Their father and mother protected all of them. They didn't go to school. They referred to them as very harsh parents and all that. But they protected them because they knew. Let's come to Nigeria. Burna Boy's mother is still protecting Burna Boy till now. Let's go before Burna Boy. King Sunny Ade's mother before she died. Nobody can talk King Sunny Ade. King Sunny Ade is a free man, he's a lovable wife, he had many wives and children, but his mother protected him. In a period when you go to sing as a musician, some people will use juju, your speaker will not speak. No sound will come from a new speaker. You can buy 100 new speaker, no sound will come out of it. In some cases, they will sit and they will not be able to stand up. In some cases, once they step on the stage, they will fall down. Like juju, they walk. But King Sunny Ade's mother protected him, stayed with him. And that is the job of the family. And that is the job parents are meant to do. In this case of our dear Mohbad, did the family do enough to protect that guy? The answer is left for us to answer.
Aristocrat, sorry to interrupt. Aristocrat, wait, please, sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Even when it was advised, okay, for them to get a cloth that is actually sweated on, The mother confirmed that she gave a fake cloth. Do you get that bit?
Yes, yes, yes. Now, no, for me, I'm not going to say that. For us, it's for us to judge. Now, let me you. Some people will say, "Oh, the father did more. The mother." It is not enough. When Jesus was born, and they were to kill children, when Herod said they should be killing children, what did the parent do? Was it the father alone that carried the child? It was father and mother. And where did they run to? They ran back to Egypt. Ran back to Egypt, where their forefathers were held in captive. They ran back to Egypt. When David was made king, Saul came to the house of Jesse and chose David, who was the youngest, who was a shepherd. His brothers, if you read the history of David, you will imagine his family. They have more male, and they are, I would say, beautiful. I will not use handsome, beautiful men. The shortest among them is 6 feet and above. David was a very tall man, and he was shorter than his brothers. His brothers were handsome, well built. They were warriors. But when Saul picked him, he told his father, "I have anointed your son. Nobody must hear about it." Even his brothers did not know. His brother did not know. The father kept it because that is the role of parents. You must protect them. And that was what Joseph and Mary did for Jesus. They took him to Egypt till they were told to come back. Now, this is the first step, the job of the parent. Now, in a situation just like we still have many like Mohbad. One of the problems we do not have in the society is you have few people that have seen life, and these young people do not want to go to them and learn. You know, in the olden days, just like the Igbo tradition, where people go to learn trade from their masters. Why are you with your masters? So that you can learn the trade. Even after you know you can do it yourself, you still wait for another 3-4 years so that you can understand some things. And when you start on your own, they will still be supporting you. Now, I mentioned these people that their parents supported. Burna Boy is a classical example. If Burna Boy travels today, the mother follows him. It's not that the mother does not want to enjoy, does not want to sit back and say, they go, you are grown. No, she knew why she's following the son. Now, as the parent of Mohbad, did they do that? The father tried. But you know, Yoruba will say, ojú mẹ́rin ló máa ń bí ọmọ. Ìgbà ojú ló máa ń báyàn wò. But ojú mẹ́rin tó bí ọmọ yẹn, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ dúró tọmọ yẹn. It is 4 eyes that give birth to a child. But thousands of eyes will help you to nurture the guy. But those 4 eyes, when they are alive, they must stand by him to protect him. But this did not happen in his own. So for us, going forward, young people, number 1, must learn to respect elders. Number 2, must learn that this world is not about Idon Blue. It is not how far, but how well. And they must get the right definition for success. And at the same time, they must listen to know that when you are cautioned about the friends you keep, you must yield to caution. As much as your parents will play their part, they are the ones to make the right decision by the guidance of their parents. Because it will come to a level they can only advise you, they can't force you. Now, if you've been warned about some friends, yield to it, because you make friends and you lose friends. The friends you have when you were at certain age, you might not have them when you grow up. You have friends for 2 days, you have friends for 10 years, you have friends for 1 year. You have lovers that you think you will end up husband and wife, but something happened, you did not end up like that. And some people that you felt you will never marry, they became your wife, and they became the best friend you will ever have. That is how world is. So young people just need to learn, and they should understand that the world order will not change because of them. The order will always be there. Apply yourself to it. resources is abound, let it guide you. Because Bashodafin Loyale is always available for Ìyàwó to chop.
Of course.
So they just have to learn from me. That is what I think. But that does not mean we will not still have casualty in future. That will always be deviant.
Aristocrat, in the case of Mohbad, the very first red flag was the pregnancy. Okay? How can a girl of 22, 21, whatever, saying...
Oh, you got it wrong.
No.
You got it wrong. No, wait, Baba. His very first red flag was when himself and Prime Boy, because they always pray, they told them, the women in your life, they are not good for you. His friend yielded to that.
You are right.
That is the first place he should have taken his decision.
You are right.
But he didn't take it.
From Baba now, I'm talking from Baba, because when they went to pray, Baba was not there. But from Baba perspective, okay, the very first flag was that pregnancy. Because the question is, how can a girl of 21, 22, who is not even married, looking for pregnancy? And then the second red flag was turning an introduction into a wedding. I've been through it: introduction, engagement, marriage. How can you turn an introduction to a marriage? So that was the very, the second red flag, or the third one. But, see, with due respect to Baba, I don't mean to be rude, but I put all these things down to poverty. Poverty. All of my carry. P-Square said it the other day that...
I disagree.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go on, sir.
Yoruba will say, I know lowo pani lorukoda, chief or Mr. Loma Yokurombe. And Yoruba also say, Agidi Talika, le fowora. Because you are not affluent, you are not rich, does not mean you cannot put your feet down. You see, nígbà tí ọmọ tó bá ti ga ju onírè wọn lọ, nǹkan tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn. And if parents do not put their feet down, they will always come to be blamed. At my age, my father, if he calls me and I say, Daddy, talk to me on phone, if he says, and what he wants to tell me, he can tell me on phone, he will say, I want you to come to the house and I want to talk to you. I have to go because I understand who he is to me and I honor him as such. If my dad says don't do it, I will not do it as long as he's alive. It was because the way I was brought up. He is my boss. I might not have any boss in the world, but my father is my boss. And even when I was growing up, if someone does something to me that my father don't do, I will fight with that person. I'll give you this example. I was working with one of my bosses. He's like a brother to me. So he did something to me, and I was angry. So on his table, on his glass table, he used his two hands to slam the table. Everything on those tables jump up. Guy, he be my boss, so he be the MTO. Omo, mama ya we enjoy it. I told him, I said, since I was born, even my father that I reference after God has never banged the table. And that day I resigned. I resigned though. The man was begging me back to say, but because the way I grew up, I see my father as my idol. And that is the way the Bible taught you. Parents are idol or God to the children. How strong do you have influence on your children? That when you tell them, oh boy, sit down, you might be rich, you might have every wealth in the world, but you are not as poor as I am. You might be taller than me, but you are not as short as I am. You might have strength, but you are not as weak as I am. You might look fresh, but you are not as rough as I am. Your eyes might be sharp, but your eyes is not as weak as mine. So what you think you have that is more than me, I have things that you too, that I have that is more than you. So sit there, and this is how this thing is going to run. And that is how it's going to run. Except you want to change your name from my name. That is how parents talk when they see great danger, irrespective. And that is how I grew up. That is how my grandparents do it. when we go to the palace. That is how they talk. And when they are talking, who are you to say no? If you will be murmuring, they will see you murmuring. It's your pockets. It is when that thing happens that you yourself, you will come and prostrate for them. Daddy, I saw what you saw. I just see. They will smile. But as a father, you must put your feet down. Even if you are a mother, put your feet down. And that is the culture of the African society. We might not be as advanced as the white people, but the culture we have is deeper than what they have. And when we usurp our own responsibility to our children because they are giving us money for food, then we are failed. We are failed. And that happens in many homes, happens all around us. You will see young people, they will say they don't blow. They will go and do Yahoo Yahoo. It is their parent that will help them to go and register the car they got from through Yahoo Yahoo. It is their parent that will help them to sit in POS shop that they said they are using the Yahoo Yahoo money to put down. It is their parent that will be living in those houses they use Yahoo Yahoo to get. Are they parents? And when their children are killed by fetish means or jailed, they will now say, my village people don't affect me. When you, as a father, cannot put down your feet. It happens in many ways. So, for me, we don't blame Mohbad's parents. But this is what happens. But among all this, there are still people that are instilling discipline in their children. Then what should we do? We that, and the way it is in our society, the generation before us have failed us. Our generation also is failing the younger ones. Things that we learned that make us better, we fail to teach the ones that are coming behind us. We claim it is civilization. We claim everyone for himself. It is not like that. It is not like that. So a lot of things comes to bear. So two hands must watch each other to be clean, not one. Thanks.
Aristocrats, please let me interject you. Good evening, everyone.
Something about higher.